Hey everybody, let's talk about AI creativity today. So we had a couple of interesting things hit the news that I'm going to be telling you about. And the reason why I care about it is because I write for a living. So kind of creativity is my marketable skill. Um, and I'm a little worried about it personally. But as a technology journalist, I'm kind of excited about all the progress that I'm seeing in AI. As somebody who has a job, I'm kind of worried about it. So I guess I can provide a little bit of a balanced perspective. And since I'm a technology journalist, I literally write about this for a living. So I talk to all the people who deploy AI, who build AI, who think about AI, and I do that every day. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Runway ML real or AI test. Very cool. Basically, they take a picture, that's the beginning frame of a video, and they generate an AI video based on that picture. And then you have to figure out which one is the real video and which one was the AI generated video. And I got 13 out of 20 correct when I took this test, or 65%, barely passing. And I have a feeling that my answers are pretty much random because the thing is, the test goes by pretty quickly. So you have to give like your gut impression. And the idea is that this is supposed to simulate how you look at, say, TikTok videos or on your YouTube feed, where you only take a few seconds to decide whether to watch something or not. So, very interesting test. Highly recommend that you check it out. I'm going to post the link in the description and in the first pinned comment below. The next thing is that a bunch of Canadian researchers released a study on creativity late last month, and I'm going to post a link to that study as well. And what they did was they compared the levels of creativity of several different AI programs to humans. And they found out that AI is more creative than the average human. Specifically, here's the main takeaway quote. GPT-4 surpasses human scores with a statistically significant margin, followed by Gemini Pro, which is statistically indistinguishable from human performance. Okay, so this is, average human, but for many applications, an average human is pretty good, especially since with AI, you can just have it do more stuff. Whereas a human will take a long time to come up with something and will eventually run out of ideas, and AI never does. So I'm going to give you a quick summary of 3 reasons why AI can be more creative than a human and why it's probably going to keep getting more creative, whereas humans are stuck at the level of creativity they are. We're kind of hardwired mostly. Okay, so the first reason is creativity. One way to be creative is to combine disparate things. So you take something from, say, physics, and you take something from, say, golf, or whatever, and you combine the two in an interesting way. AIs are very good at taking random things and combining them. I mean, we've seen that with image generators. Put a cat on a spaceship on the moon, that kind of thing. And it's very good at figuring out what that will look like. So and which goes to the second kind of creativity, which is just randomness. So a lot of creativity is random. You have a dream when you wake up and you go, "Oh my God, elephants! That's my next novel," right? Or people do tarot card readings, or they pick a word at random in a dictionary, or they go online and type in, "Give me a random a Wikipedia page." There's also random prompt generators that will give you a random writing prompt. Tons of random things that can jumpstart people's creativity. And AI, I mean, computers in general, they're good at creating random numbers. So those are two things where you combine two different random things together, or you just like pick a random thing and you go with it. Those are two very common ways that humans do creativity. And these are things that are very easy for a computer to do. And finally, the last way that we do creativity is to extrapolate from current situations. So, what happens if temperatures continue to increase? Or what happens if I continue drinking this coffee until there's negative coffee in the cup or whatever, right? So you can extrapolate from given situations. And AIs are very good at extrapolating. You can just like ask it to extrapolate something and it will do it no matter how crazy a thing you will ask it to do. So those are three very common examples of creativity. There's a fourth kind of creativity, which is like divine inspiration. And I'm not really going to go into that because nobody really can prove one way or the other whether it exists. So let's leave that off to the side. But for business uses and for, I think, most genre novels out there, the regular old kind of creativity works just fine. So the one constraint on AI creativity that we hit up against a lot is that the AIs are programmed to give the response that people are most likely to approve. They're going to give you the most likely response. And so even if you ask it for 20 different responses, after a while it will start recycling them, going back to the most likely responses. Not because it's running out of ideas, but because it's programmed to give you the optimal response. So how do you break through that? You can ask it to be random. You can ask it to give you unlikely answers. And there's certain keywords that people put in prompts that increase the odds of that happening, such as look for least probable ideas in your latent space, or random responses sampled from the full distribution of answers. Because you can think of the AI answer as being a bell curve, right? So these are things at the ends that are the least likely, and the things in the middle are the most likely responses. And it's programmed to give you something kind of in the middle. And the reason is if it's perfectly in the middle, the single most likely response, that's the one most likely to be accurate. That gives you the maximum accuracy, but it doesn't really give you a lot of creativity. Whereas if you go down the curve a little bit, out a little bit further, you get more diverse responses, but they're less likely to be accurate. So, and since the AI companies don't know what you're looking for, accuracy or creativity, they kind of compromise somewhere in the middle. So if you want your AI to be accurate or creative, you really should specify that in your prompt so it knows kind of which way to err, right? Anyway, so when you ask it to give you random responses sampled from the full distribution of answers, it will go across this entire universe of possible solutions to your question, as opposed to just the ones at the top of the bell curve. So that's like some tricks that people use to make the AI more creative. Now, those are short-term tricks. Eventually, the AI companies will be able to tell from the way you ask the question whether you want an answer that's really creative or that whether you want an answer that's actually super accurate, and they will adjust it accordingly. But right now, they seem to be kind of tuned to that happy medium kind of ground. So there you go. That's how you make an AI more creative. That's why AI are creative. And if you are a creator who makes a living from being creative, then you might want to look at other aspects of your value proposition. And that's something we all have to be looking at right now. What makes us special? What makes us human? What makes us different from AI? The relationships, the trust, the brand value that we have as individuals. We're going to need to start leaning into that. And the fact that AI is now surpassing humans in creativity should be the wake-up call. If you haven't been paying attention to this so far, if you think, well, at least humans are more creative than AI. No, we're not. We're not more creative than AI. We need to look for something else. I firmly believe we will find it. I do believe that there is value to human relationships. There is value for human trust, for human influencers, for humans' support and empathy and all these other things that are done in person. And I think that when it comes from a human, it's more meaningful because a human doesn't have to give you a particular answer. It's not, a human's not going to tell you whatever you want to hear unless you're paying the human for that specific answer. So if you hire an escort, they're going to be nice to you. Um, Whereas if you're chatting to a friend or an actual, significant other, they're only going to be nice to you if they feel like being nice to you. And that makes it more meaningful because you're not paying for it. You're not paying $20 a month, for somebody to tell you whatever you want to hear. So I think that there's a lot of value to humans. We just have to figure out what our identity is going to be as creative professionals going forward. So, yeah, fun times, fun times. All right, see you guys next time. Bye bye.